everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a video on one of my go-to looks for makeup, and it is a neutral smoky eye. The thing that I love so much about smoky eyes is that you can literally wear them with anything. If you're wearing brown, smoky eye, gray, smoky eye, white, smoky eye, black, smoky eye, everything can go with them. So how have you guys been? Let me know in the comments. So a couple of months ago in my Ipsy box came this vitamin C all day eye cream by Context, and I really don't struggle with my eyes yet as far as like them looking tired or anything like that, but I thought to myself, like, hey, like if I treat them, maybe like they will never go bad and I'll have young eyes. Can't really say like, hey, this works wonders, because I really don't have anything to work on. I'm really using it prophylactically. What I will say is that it definitely helps my eyes to feel brighter and moisturized. And so I will definitely try to remember to post a link to that eye cream in the description box. What I'm using to prep my eyes and set them is my Makeup by Mario Set and Prep eyeshadow kit. I have pretty much given up on the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, and there's 1,000 reasons why. So what I like about this is it comes with a light and then dark shade, and then a translucent powder for setting down. So literally the kit has everything that you need in just the small little badoogadaggle. So the reason why I basically gave up on my eyeshadow primer potion by Urban Decay is because what I found is that, for one, it's so thin and so light and goes on so neat that it kind of takes a lot of the work out of blending my eyeshadow. Although the primer potion gives you like that pop and that vibrance, and it's thick, and when you put it on it's really there, it actually adds a little bit of resistance to your eyeshadow. So you really have to blend a lot more than you usually do, rather than just using regular concealer or using this eyeshadow prep kit. So when it comes to choosing the perfect smoky eye, it's all about what palette you use and the colors that you choose to use in those palettes. So I'm going to show you guys some palettes from low end to high end that you can use to get this perfect smoky eye, and then probably going to choose somewhere in between. So for an affordable palette, I would definitely recommend for a smoky eye the Warrior by Juvia's Place. It is $20, so not too expensive, and this comes with a bunch of neutral colors. Next up on the list is the fabulous James Charles palette. So this was a palette that I actually waited a long time to get, and I was so glad when I got it, because it literally is a rainbow of colors. Like, I don't feel like there's a color in here that they don't have. This palette here is not big on grays, so what they have is a lot of brown. What I will say about this palette is that it is often that what the color looks like is not what you get. So this color here, right up here, the brown, is actually more of a grayish brown, which I actually prefer to use over just a flat brown, because it brings out your eyes just a little bit more. But they have awesome nudes here. So we have this here that's like shimmery, this darker color that could be used for eye contouring, and then a lighter shade, and then a beige shade, and all of these ranges to add a little bit of hue to your shadow if that's what you want to do. And last but not least, for the high-end makeup, I choose the Modern Renaissance. And I know that my palette is dirty, but anybody who owns Modern Renaissance, all of our palettes are dirty, because they have that darn velvet that they keep putting on every single thing. I was so glad when Jackie Aina came out and had just the regular leather on hers. I'm like, thank goodness, something that we can clean here. The reason why I love this palette, and I've said this before, this palette is the perfect beginner's palette. It is expensive, but the eyeshadows are so easy to blend, and you will find this across the board with any Anastasia palette, that they have the most blendability when it comes to their products. Whenever I'm doing a smoky eye, I always use warm taupe, because it's exactly that. Like I said before, it's super important that you use a brown gray when you're doing a smoky eye, or else it just will not look good. It's going to look flat and murky. So I'll use warm taupe, Cypress Umber, and then also probably one of the lighter shades here. It just depends on what ends up looking the best. So those are my suggestions on what to use for this video. I think that I'm just going to go in and use the James Charles palette because it's a very common palette. A lot of people who are just starting with makeup have this palette because it has so many different colors. So taking my Morphe M505 brush, what I'm going to do is just start in with this brownish gray here. So I always start out really light. No matter what kind of eyeshadow look I'm doing, I always start on my outer corners of my eyes. And I do both eyes because when you're just starting, you don't want to forget, like, okay, what color did I use, especially if it's a palette that has a lot of colors like this one does. Using the same brush, I'm just going to migrate over to the middle of my eye. Notice how I'm staying very low. I don't go all the way up here because that can make a very sloppy application if you're just beginning and you're not really used to things. Taking my small Morphe M507 brush, going into the inner crease. Now that I'm comfortable with how kind of low my eyeshadow is, I take my bigger brush and I very gently start to fluff up towards my brow bone. Be very delicate when you're doing this because this is where you can accidentally get that whole raccoon look that everyone hates. And this is usually where the smoky eye goes wrong. You put way too much going up by your brow bone and it just looks really, really harsh. So be very delicate when you're doing this. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, you can kind of see like a line of demarcation. And so with that, I will just tap my brush into it, raise my eyebrow a little bit, and blend out that line. Now taking my Morphe 504 brush. This is one of the larger brushes that Morphe makes for eyeshadows. And a lot of times what I'll take is just a clean brush that has just like a little bit of translucent powder, and I'll just blend. And then I might take a little bit of color and blend it into areas that I had a little bit of trouble blending before. So now, as you can see, we are set with the perfect dark shadowing. If you want something that's super clean, if you're going to a party or whatever, you will want to cut the crease and add your light shadows also. I am using the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. It's probably one of my favorite concealers next to Fenty. I am using the M167 brush by Morphe. It is a flat pancake brush to cut my crease with my concealer. This here takes practice, and I can honestly admit to you that I'm still practicing, but what you will quickly notice is that it does not have to be perfect. You just have to create that definition and then fill in. So now that everything is pretty much creased and set up the way that I want to, and I have it all powdered down, I'm just going to take kind of like the next shade to this is going to be this over here. So I'm just going to put my small brush in here and I'm just going to pack this on. And I'm just putting this halfway in. Kind of start with the outer corner and going into about right here. Then I'm going to go right into the shade up here, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner. And whenever you're doing the part with the cut crease, it's best to like pack it on because you really get that ombre effect. And this last step is a little optional. What you can do is add like just a little bit of dark on your outer corners. It does give the illusion that your eyes are kind of going out this way into like a cat shape when you do this. All right, so now I'm just gonna add a little bit of liner. Okay, lashes. Just trying to blend these together. All right, so now that we have lashes on, I'm just gonna go and put on my foundation really quick. Later on today, I'm going to go see my girl Kelsey. It is her birthday. Shout out to you, Kelsey. Hey, girl. This girl does not wear a lick of makeup, like not a lick, but she has always been super supportive. We met each other in college, but we just recently like got closer than we were before this year. So of course we were going to do a Friendsmas but we're not going to do that until afterwards. And because her birthday's so close to Christmas, I didn't want to like kind of like do 2 separate celebrations. So she decided to work on her birthday, and so therefore I am going to come to her. I'm just gonna add some powder and we'll go right back into finishing our eye makeup. All right, so as my powder is breaking down, one of my favorite things to do is put on my eyeliner. I feel like it just sticks more whenever it has like the baking kind of mixed in with it. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Eye Pencil. So there's like a ton of L'Oreal Infallible pencils. All of them are pretty different, but to me this one has the best staying power. I do notice a significant reduction in smudging with this eyeliner. I would almost consider it to be a dupe for the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil. I usually use the Glide On pencil in the color Demolition. It's like a dark blackish brown, and this color is just in brown, and I think it's pretty much the same, and the staying power is good, but it's half the price. Getting back into my James Charles palette, I'm just using this dark color here. I don't like to smudge with black because, like I said, whenever you do a smoky eye, you want to stay away from the blacks or neutral grays. You always want to go for the darker browns. One thing I will say about Morphe is that at times Morphe's shadows don't blend as seamlessly. They definitely do not have that creamy texture. They're more of a dry texture. Whenever I do tutorials, I try to make it a point to use products that are not $100. You'll find yourself having an easier time if you just splurge, but I know that right now we are in the middle of a pandemic. Sometimes you just don't have the money to splurge. You just don't. And so I feel like Morphe, Juvia's Place, and even some of the Maybelline palettes are really good as starter palettes. But just keep in mind that they are a little bit more difficult to blend if you're a beginner. Even though I do not like the company, I love this powder. This is the Shape Tape Setting Powder in Translucent Tan Deep. And that does have a little annoying... It does have the little annoying basket that's there, but the powder actually comes through, so I actually don't mind it as much. And this powder adds so much color and smoothness to my skin. Almost reminds me of like a finishing powder. And then last but not least, I'm going to take some mascara, make my bottom eyelashes appear. Don't know why I'm doing this because I'm going to put on a mask.
One eternity later.
So this is the final look. As you can see, this is a very warm, neutral, smoky eye. I don't look like a raccoon. I mean, at least I don't think I do. It looks like I just have on some really neutral makeup, just going out for the day. Like I said, I feel like this is something that can be worn day or night. You know, if you're wearing it during the day, I would suggest to use like a little bit of a lighter color, but that's if you can. You know, some people, because of the hue of our skin, we can't use any lighter colors. So everything that we put on is kind of dark. I'm about to get out here into this madness of Christmas shopping at the mall. Today is probably like my last day that I'm really gonna have time to do anything, so I'm getting ready to head out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.